So I'm not originally from this city, from Stockholm City, but when I moved here, and especially once I started kayaking here, I realized what a wonderful project it is. When you look at inner city Stockholm, it's 14 islands, and once you take into account the greater area of Stockholm with the archipelago, we're looking at, does anyone know how many islands? 30,000 islands. 30,000 islands, and out of those, I think roughly 200 are inhabited. People live on 200 of those islands. How the hell does this feel like a city? Well, we have ferries, we have car ferries, we have underwater tunnels, we have bridges. Just those 14 inner city islands, they're connected by 57 bridges. No man is an island, said the 1700 poet John Donne, English poet. And he was talking about finer and more humane things than what I'm going to talk about. My name is Nima. I work at Sveriges Radio, which is, for anyone who doesn't know, it's the Swedish national public radio broadcaster. And while I'm not going to talk about humanity here, I'm going to talk about artificial intelligence. But it's kind of the same, because if we look at our organizations today, a lot of us look like this. I'm sorry for walking around, I'm a little bit crazy. So sorry for those looking afterwards. But yeah, when you look at our organizations, this is how it looks at many of our places right now. We're a bunch of islands, a bunch of people with skills, but we're not connected. So let's look at this. Anyone familiar with this? Seen this? So this is the EU AI Act. It's this mandatory stuff that's coming at us. And the Swedish interpretation, I think, will come in fall. And, well, that's all fine and dandy. You know, we're kind of like GDPR. Compliance, compliance, compliance. But at some point, we have to make a decision. What is it, kind of like Martina was saying, what is it that we really want to achieve? And I'd like to propose something else. Let's look at our employees, our coworkers, our colleagues as the business developers. They're the ones, like what Patrick Hedjung from Scania says, they're the ones that have the domain expertise. They're the ones that know our tasks, our jobs, their their processes. So they know if they're given the tools to marry it with artificial intelligence, understanding those tools, they will know how to marry their jobs with this. If they don't, connect them with others. So what did we do at the Swedish Radio? We're still working on these bridges. Definitely, we're not 100% there yet. But we decided to give them the foundations, to give them a starting point. And for us, that was the basics of AI, the basics of artificial intelligence. To have some kind of a common ground. Of course, we have to understand that you can't just sit with your knowledge for yourself. You also have to share it with IT. You have to share it with legal, with cybersecurity. There's so many people that have to become connected. But first, let's start by giving them a common language to speak. And so what we did is we rolled out a course, simple, focusing on what you need to know, which is, let's get you started using those tools. And one of the things that we're pretty proud of is asking this simple question. Imagine a world without any technical limitations. You have these monotonous, boring, draining tasks, and you are given an assistant for that. Anything that you find challenging, you are giving a mentor or a coach for that. What would you like to have help with? This was a free text answer. We had all of our roughly 2,000 employees do this course, and we had answers for most of them. Now let's walk the walk. and not just talk. As L&D as well, let's connect it together. So we have these answers, beautiful answers, and while going through the course, they are given the opportunity to try the tools, and then eventually towards the end, they see this answer. Again, what was it? What was your dilemma? And are you able to help yourself with it or not? If they weren't, they would just tick the box, no. So that's a lot of data for us, and we share it with our product development team. Now we know where to put our efforts into to develop something for our users, for our participants in the course, for our colleagues, our coworkers. That's it. Yeah, that's it.